Soldiers possess all the qualities we look for in a hero. They are willing to make great sacrifices of their own to protect their beloved country and all of its citizens, even if it means that they need to be away from their loved ones for a long period of time. But when these heroes finally come home, it's a great relief for their friends and family who have been waiting for them. Grab your tissues, because today we're gonna show you emotional moments of soldiers coming home. This girl got the best kind of April Fool's Day surprise when her mother returned a few days early from her 7-month deployment. The girl thought she was just being interviewed until she turned around to see her beloved mom. Army Captain Jane Lund surprises her daughter with an early return from Afghanistan in front of 80,000 fans at a football game. The relief was great when she realized her mother had come home unharmed and she was finally able to hug her mom for the first time in months. A Ukrainian soldier and his mother share an emotional reunion in a village liberated by Ukrainian forces. A Navy officer who's been serving in Afghanistan for the past 11 months returned home to surprise his daughter at the cheerleading championship. She thought he was going to be away for a couple more weeks, but this dad did everything he could to be there for his daughter's big day. A soldier surprises his daughter by coming home early, and her reaction is priceless. This cheerleader doesn't know it yet, but the man standing in uniform behind her is her dad. The petty officer is supposed to be in Cuba, but instead came home early to give his daughter the surprise of a lifetime. After 7 months away, all the emotion got the best of Dad too, and he couldn't hold back the tears. A father surprises his daughter with the present of her life as he comes home early after being away for 11 months. The girl was confused at first, but when she understood that it was her dad standing in front of her, she ran to give him a big hug. And this Ukrainian soldier returns home to surprise his baby daughter. After months in Russian captivity, this Ukrainian soldier was finally reunited with her children. A mom surprises her son at a football game after returning home from active duty and is finally able to embrace him. A soldier father comes home early and gets to see his cheerleader daughter compete for the first time ever. These girls are confused as to why there are balloons in their living room until their dad walks into the room. After completing his duty, he was finally able to give his daughters a big hug.
Is it a good surprise?
This girl was just finishing a cheerleading routine when she suddenly heard her father's name announced over the stadium. Her father had been serving in Afghanistan for 7 months and she couldn't believe that he was finally home. After being in Afghanistan for 9 months, this soldier came home 3 weeks early to surprise his wife and kids. And the surprising question is something out of the ordinary. Suddenly, he appears out of the water behind them with scuba gear, and his family can't believe he's finally back home. This woman thinks her husband is still serving in Turkey, but watch her emotional reaction when she realizes that he's standing right beside her. And this woman, who was expecting to give birth without her beloved husband who's training for the army, gets the best surprise ever right before they welcome their baby girl into the world. Only moments before getting married, the soon-to-be wife surprises her husband with a beautiful gift, his cousin coming home from South Korea. These two talented cheerleading twins are surprised by their military father coming home early to watch them at a pep rally. But shortly after, their father had to deploy once again for 9 more months. When he finally got back home, he decided to give them yet another big surprise on game day, and the twins were overjoyed that this time their dad was finally home to stay. Having a son in the army is especially hard for a mother who always fears the worst. So when this Mongolian soldier comes home after a year and a half of military service, his mom is relieved to finally see him again. And this mother's reaction is priceless. This dog senses a familiar scent but doesn't yet understand who it is until the blanket is lifted. It is her owner, who has returned home after being gone for several months, and the dog's happiness shows how much she has missed him. And here's yet another dog welcoming home a Ukrainian soldier from the front lines.
The father of varsity cheerleader Shelby.
After 3 long years, a father surprises his daughter and they're finally reunited. A little girl welcomes back her father, a Ukrainian soldier who hasn't been home for months. Finally, they're back together once again. An army dog races into the arms of a soldier after 3 years apart.
Come on, buddy!
They have been through so much together on the battlefield, and now they're finally reunited for good.
What are you doing?
Mondays are usually very boring. But not today, as a military dad is finally back home with his family after an emotional homecoming to surprise his kids at school.
Hey, baby girl.
This woman had just come back from the army and decided to surprise her sister at school, and this is what happened. Her sister was so happy to see her that she jumped into her arms. This little girl hasn't seen her brother since he was deployed more than a year ago. Here's the emotional moment he surprises her at the airport. With the help of his wife and the school, this soldier surprised all his children with his homecoming, and they're all thrilled to see their father after months apart.
Yes, I think so.
This is Mr. Water!
A Marine who hasn't seen his little sister in 6 years surprises her at a basketball practice, and there wasn't a dry eye on the court.
Well, we have a special guest today. It's Veterans Day.
These kids thought they were just gonna have yet another boring day at school, but what they didn't know was that they were going to get the surprise of a lifetime as their dad returned from an 8-month deployment.
Hi. Hi, Lucas. What's up?
A student is filled with joy when her brother gives her a homecoming surprise during a football game and she jumps into his arms. Her brother had been deployed overseas for a year, but now he is finally back home. Let us know in the comments section which of these clips was your favorite. And while you're down there, remember to like and subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.